Hey guys, ForTheAfro Reviews here, and today I'll be reviewing Chapter 175 and 176 of My Hero Academia. I apologize for being late. A lot of stuff was going on last week, so just giving you a double review this week. Hopefully I'll be on time next week and I'll have no problems. Hopefully I'll be early, if anything. So, to begin 175, we have everyone preparing for the cultural festival. We see Class B, we see Hado, we see Hatsume, Jiro's writing notes. And we also see a picture of Eri, who's getting her hair done by someone. And, in my head, this is Aizawa. Aizawa is fixing Eri's hair because he always wears those black long sleeves. And why would a doctor be wearing that, you know? And I want him to adopt Eri because his quirk is the perfect quirk to handle her quirk while she doesn't have control of it. And Aizawa, he'd make a great dad. I think he'd hate being a dad, but he'd make a great dad. In the next scene, we see Class A and their preparations. They're all preparing for their song and dance number, and they're talking about how Jiro and how Mina on the dance team has put in so much effort into this, and how it's really coming along nicely. Everyone's improved a lot since the beginning of preparations went underway. And then Hound Dog Sensei comes in and tells them all to go to bed. It's too late. So they all go back to the dorm. Some people are sleeping. Some people are still really hyped and awake and whatnot. Like Kaminari and Mineta, for example, they're still awake and making a lot of noise. Everyone's telling them to keep it down. Ida expresses some doubt, he's kind of worrying, I wonder if everyone will like our show, just normal stage jitter kind of things, like pre-show things. And then Jiro saying that that's probably the worst thing you can do, to being all shy and timid and whatnot. You just gotta be confident and go up there and do your best. And everyone's saying that's kind of weird, Jiro saying that, because she's always a really shy and nervous one. And I think, that's a really good observation by the class. It's true, her character is really shy and timid almost all the time. So having that portion of her character be kind of juxtaposed by her stage persona, I guess I should say, or her knowledge of having a stage persona is just really cool to see. I appreciate that from Horikoshi. While this conversation's going on, Deku and Aoyama are going over their harness, for Aoyama's disco ball. Also super excited to see that. Just the disco ball part, though. But the harness is frayed and ripping and whatnot, and Deku notices this and says, wow, that's really dangerous. We need to get this fixed. I'm so sorry I haven't noticed this already, being the good guy he is. And then, I don't remember who, but someone suggests that they have Momo make them a new one, but Momo's asleep, and on top of that, they don't want to just use her for that stuff, It would feel kind of weird. And Deku, again, being the great guy he is I will be up early in the morning anyway. I will just run downtown and buy a new harness or rope for a new harness or whatever, and then I'll make it back here beforehand. And of course, he's going to be up early because he's planning to be training with All Might. He's going to be cutting it close time-wise. That's what everyone's kind of worried about, but he's fine. He's Deku. So the next morning, 6:30 a.m., Deku's training with All Might, as he is prone to do. And Hatsume actually appears and is talking, saying, "Hey, I'm done." And she gives Deku the gloves. She completed them early, and Deku's saying, "Thank you so much. You really could have waited till after the cultural festival, though." But she's planning to go in just into hibernation mode right after the cultural festival. So she says she'll be fine, which also is great. Hatsume is a really interesting character, really eccentric and really passionate about her craft. So she immediately was like, that idea is awesome. I really want to get that invention out for you, Deku, so you can upgrade your costume. I'll get that out on top of everything else I'm doing. Her workload is just huge. So the gloves look really cool, but I will discuss them more as I get into my Chapter 176 portion of the review, just because, a lot more is revealed about them since he uses them in that chapter. All Might's super impressed by how compact the tech is, since when he was a hero, everything was, wasn't as far along technologically wise, so his was all bulky and stuff. That's what he was saying in the last chapter. And it turns out that in the time Deku was testing out the gloves and using them and whatnot, he kind of lost track of time and he got a little behind. So it's 7:50 a.m. as he's running around trying to go get the rope for the harness. Once he gets the rope, and he's ready to go back and make the harness, it's 8:30, he's running back to school, and this is when he runs into a disguised La Brava and Gentle. When Deku and Gentle meet, Deku kind of startles Gentle because he's running around the corner. And Gentle mentions that, oh, you almost made me lose the taste of the Gold Tips Imperial, or something weird like that. And Deku's like, oh, so that place is a coffee shop. I never knew. Since he lives around the area at school, he's just a little surprised he didn't know about this place. And it's at this point that Gentle's really impressed that he knows what it is. And through their conversation, bit by bit, they start piecing together, Deku's oh my god, this is the guy that was drinking the tea in the video and was talking about doing something really big, and the only thing big that he can be doing right now probably is going after UA, he's in this area at least. And then at the same time, Gentle's putting it together that this kid, he knows about this high NT, he goes to school around here, he must go to UA, and he must be like a prospect hero and all this. So they're both really intelligent, and especially seeing this in Deku is amazing because a lot of main characters in shonens aren't that bright, or like they're only bright when it comes to fighting. Deku is just smart. He's just a smart kid. In fact, he's a nerd, so he's always writing notes and stuff. Like I love that about Deku, and seeing it accentuated in this chapter was a treat. So instead of like avoiding them and like telling someone or something, Deku confronts Gentle and says, "Please, like, leave my school out of this," basically. And Gentle tells Labrava to start filming, and that's kind of where the chapter 175 ends. It was a really quick recap, so it wasn't as in depth as I usually would be. But gotta get to 176 too. Chapter 176 has an amazing color spread of Gentle and Labrava and Deku. Deku rocking his new gloves. I guess this is a good time to talk about the design. They are green and white with a tiny bit of orange on them, which is, just a cool color combination since his costume's already white and green mostly, and the orange I think goes well with that. The palms, like the actual palms, are the green part, and the rest of it's just like white pretty much, with the accent being green. Being orange. And I think that's really cool, like the whole palm being one color thing, like a different color than the rest of the glove. I don't know. Something about that really looks cool to me. Like, I'm digging it. So the beginning of the chapter, Gentle's preparing for battle, and Deku's like analyzing the situation as he's prone to do. He's realizing that like it's a Saturday, there's not anyone here, like it's abandoned right now and everything, and like that it's like a safe place to battle, but like at the same time he should go tell the shopkeeper, and he just decides no, like just flat out no, like that is not an option, because if he does, like the festival's gonna get canceled, and so many people have put so much effort into this festival, and it's really needed for like their morale at this point because of how bad society is, and Deku's not gonna have any of that. Gentle throws off his overcoat really dramatically, and also starts telling Labrava, when he's filming, like he does like a little quick big title, even dabs real quick. It's ludicrous. I love how ludicrous Gentle is. He's insane, but sane at the same time. Like, it's a weird combo. I love it. Deku immediately charges him and runs into this crazy, like, I thought it was like a cellophane wall at first. I was like, what the hell is going on? His face gets all scrunched. It's really odd when you're first reading it, just kind of clicking through the chapter, especially if you're reading it quickly. It throws you off. It's at this point that Gentle says, if you're one of my listeners, you should know, my quirk is elasticity. I can grant elasticity to any object, and that, of course, includes the air. So Deku literally ran into, like, elastic air and just got, like, shot backwards. And Gentle says, gently rebound, and Labrava is actually talking to him like, that was insanely violent, Gentle. Like, that was not gentle whatsoever, and it's actually because of all the momentum Deku came at him with. Like, it had nothing to do with Gentle. Gentle just made the wall. Deku just has so much strength that when he hit the wall, he flung backwards. He's fine, but, like, I thought that was hilarious. Like, Gentle was even like, holy crap, like, that is really far that you flew back there, Deku. So Gentle's quirk is a lot like Luffy from One Piece if he had an awakening. I think a lot of people are making that comparison already. He can affect his surroundings and make everything he touches rubber. It's the same concept of what Luffy's awakening would be, let's be real here. And I also can liken it a lot to Hisoka's bungee gum, both of which are really cool powers. I guess Luffy doesn't have an awakening yet, but rubber in general. I really like rubber and elastic powers now. I think like maybe they were underestimated before Luffy came along or before Hisoka came along, but I'm not sure which one of them came first actually. But now I don't think that at all. Elastic powers are some of my favorite powers, and I'm really glad that Gentle, such a cool character, has it. I hope he's reoccurring later because I like his quirk so much. So Deku jumps right back up after being rebounded and like pursues him immediately. Gentle then turns around and makes the ground that Deku's about to like run on a trampoline, essentially like super elastic, and just shoots him into the air. So he can't do anything because he's in midair. Gentle then kind of relates to him a little bit. He's like, I remember being in school and having the school festivals. I'm sure you're pouring your everything into it, but like what I'm doing is more important, basically, is what he's saying, and like don't interfere. Then he utilizes his quirk in a really cool way. He's making the air elastic, but like he's using it as like footsteps or a trampoline almost. It's like jumping his way up. Like, he's flying. He's flying right now. Like he's doing a skywalk from One Piece. More One Piece relations here, but with rubber. And while they're escaping, Labrava is actually talking to Gentle. She's saying like, that's the crazy boy from the sports festival. He like exploded all of his bones. Like, and I love that they're remembering that he's the madman. They even call him a madman, I'm pretty sure. Like, it's canon, guys. Izuku is the absolute madman. That's his. I think that should be his hero name. It's better than Deku, in my opinion. So while falling through the air, Deku has a little mini flashback. He remembers being with Lumillion and Eri, and just kind of like spending time with Eri. And Eri expresses her excitement for the cultural festival. She says, like, I'm so excited. And she comes so close to smiling. It's right there. It's right there, guys. but not quite. So we cannot let the cultural festival get canceled because obviously Eri needs a smile. She deserves this. She needs to protect Eri at all costs. Deku also remembers Jiro and all the effort she's put into this and how she's kind of came out of her shell and whatnot. She asked him, how do you make your notes, man? Like, how do you write your notes? And at first, Deku thought, oh, so you have a hero you're interested in? But it turns out Jiro was writing advice for everyone in the class, like, for each specific person, and she just wanted, like, a better way to organize it and make it, like, easy to digest for them. So she's putting a lot of thought and effort into this, and, like, she expresses that she thought her hobby was, like, stupid and that people wouldn't like it or anything, so when it turned out to be the opposite, she got really excited and really into it. We cannot let Jiro or Eri go disappointed. Like, Jiro is not my favorite, but she's precious right now, alright? No way can Deku let this happen. So Deku hardens his resolve, and he, like, thinks, I need to land so I can shoot, or so I can, like, attack him. He's remembering that All Might was saying, hey, so when you're in the midst of movement, or, like, consecutive shots, like, you're not very good with that yet, it's still beyond your capabilities right now. And then he's like, okay, so I have to land, I have to get to him, and then he remembers Mina in his dance lessons, which is awesome. Totally called this, not in the way I thought at all. I think a lot of us called this though. His dance lessons paid off and helped him utilize his new technique to hit gentle. So Mina was telling him, in the midst of movement, you have to focus and visualize and, like, you know, be able to do other stuff. You know, like, you can't, like, he was really rigid and, like, stiff at first. I would assume, you know, because he's a nerd and he can't dance. But because of this, like, lesson that I learned from Mina, he was upside down. He's upside down right now. He has his finger out, ready to go, and just shoots it off, and there we go. He hits gentle dead on with his new gloves, and it turns out that what the gloves do is that when he shoots with, you know, a flick, you know, so like a finger flick, a Detroit smash, the gloves have this weird, like, cylinder that, like, extends over his hand. So that it's like a cone over his hand, and it compresses the air pressure so that he has directionality. He can aim where he wants to without hurting the surroundings or worrying about that. So they're very practical, and I love it. He looks like Mega Man when he has it out, to be completely honest. It's pretty great. The attack's name was Detroit Smash Air Force, which goes great because, you know, the Air Force is in America, you know, Detroit. It works. And in hitting him with this new technique, Deku stops gentle long enough to give himself time to hit a telephone pole, and then zip over to him in midair, catch him, and then smash him into a construction site, and that's where the chapter ends. So I'm not sure if the fight's over or not. Deku may have just ended gentle. I can also see gentle pulling a reversal and trapping Deku or something in some kind of, like, elastic prison? I don't know. I'm sure you can think of a way to use this elastic ability to, like, trap someone for a second, and I think that is a likely occurrence since he doesn't want to fight Deku. He's expressed very clearly that he does not want to fight Deku. He just wants to get on with his plan and, you know, make a name for himself, you know, establish his legend or whatever. But I can also see the fight going on a little bit longer, and I would love to see that because this fight's turning out to be really cool, and Deku has now. He can shoot his air cannon without breaking his fingers. I'm so hyped. I've been waiting for the flick to come back for so long because it's iconic, guys, you know? Like, when I was first falling in love with My Hero Academia, him breaking all his fingers, you know, Detroit smashing through Todoroki stuff. Great. It was great, and I've kind of missed it since the time it's been gone. All the air pressure attacks were really cool. So anyway, that's it for me, guys. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the review. Again, I apologize for being late. I'll definitely try to get the next one out on time, you know, maybe even the day it comes out. Fingers crossed. Yeah, so until next time, guys. See ya.